Hello. I'm going to be extra quiet tonight because I've got people sleeping around me. This is really mostly just for keeping the streak up. Right. All right. So today I think we're gonna go look for iron, surface iron, because that's what we need at this point. So how have y'all been? Personally, I've been well. Today was a bit busy for me. Hang on. Let's see. How is my audio? My audio is a little on the quiet side. Um, that should help. Sorry, I can't really do much about it tonight. So gonna look for surface iron, get geared up. Oh, shoot. I should stream road. Jeez. Your boy is not a professional. To be fair, I'm not paid enough to be a professional. At this point I'm simply a hobbyist. Now you can pay me to be more professional, but like that's a lot of money. Alright, so the goal is 32 iron. And that's what we're gonna try to get. Guess that's powdered snow. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Okay, whew. We didn't die. Yippee. I think I'm good on coal, but what I really need is iron, which would help me share in the joy of the season if the people who work at Starbucks were able to share in the joy of the profits of their labor. Sorry, to you VOD watchers. Basically what just happened was there was an ad for Starbucks, and I allowed my leftist politics to come out. I'm on. Okay, there we go. Oh, I haven't heard this remix. What are we looking at right here? Nothing else. That's wild. There's usually more. So, I've recently figured out that my mouse is probably dying. The scroll wheel is just not great. Actually, hang on. Options, controls, mouse settings. Okay, well that helps. Never mind, I should be fine. Yippee. Just had to turn up my scroll sensitivity. Let's see, just a little bit of iron. Just a little light. No, but there are zombies. So we're gonna get the fuck out of there. Ooh. I don't think I've found oak yet. No, I have. Must have. Somewhere. But I don't have much of it. I'm pretty sure I don't have birch. I guess I do. Anyways, year's coming to an end. This is it's the end of my first full year of making content. I got started in early December of 2022, and here we are in 2023, about to head into 2024, and that's actually pretty cool. Like in less than a year, I made affiliate, which was honestly, I know a lot of people who really struggled to get anywhere near that. So it's really nice. It's like see that, I've been doing something right. So, I guess now's not a bad time to talk about what comes next for ye old go. And I have some ideas. Uh, if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can go ahead and give your feedback. Um, or, you can just say it in the chat if you're watching live. But basically, one thing that I want to do in 2024 is run a server. I have a couple of different ideas for servers. And the real question at this point is, which one do I try to pull off? And it makes most sense to go for it makes sense to it makes sense to go for the most doable one. Um, so, like, one of the ideas that I would have to put much further out in the future is an open SMP. Not like fully open, like there's still a whitelist, but it's like not hard to get through the whitelist process. Um, that requires a lot of moderators to make sure that people aren't complete dicks, and also that no kids get groomed, because I'm afraid that otherwise there's a real risk of that happening. Um, so I'd have to be working with a lot of people that I really do trust in order to make that work. And at this point in time, I don't think there's anybody out there. I mean, there's a handful, but like, as much as I trust some of these people, A, I don't think they have the time, and B, I'm not trusting a random kid's safety with them. But basically, the big one is a probably month, maybe 2 months, on a specific board. Holy shit, we are getting the fuck out of here. Um, but basically, it's about a month and a half, where it's two factions with kind of a medieval theme, kind of like Triumvirate, which is where I really got my start. Um, but the twist here that makes it different is there's two main factions, which is very similar to the Triumvirate I walked in on. But of these two factions are trying to compete for control of the server map. They're trying to take territory through agreements and such. But these two factions are heavily themed. And instead of like the Justice and Order and Powers is bullshit. It's Cyberpunk versus Fae. So we have these two wildly different building types. And again, this really only works with a lot of people. If you don't have a lot of people, it doesn't work out as well, which is difficult because there comes a point where you can't have people doing that kind of stuff and not pay them IMO, and I would have to really go careful. A cliff. Fuck you, patent. Fuck you. I swear, if I die at the end of this stream by falling off a cliff, I'm not gonna quit, but I'm gonna gift a sub to patent so that he can stop complaining about the ads. Fuck you? Well, fuck you. Anyways, that's I'm gonna say the 2025. The big public server, I'm not gonna really look into doing that one until 2025. So, 2024, I want to do like an actual server at some point during this upcoming year. And I need to figure out what that looks like. I have a couple ideas. Um, one is like just barely half baked. It's not even half baked at this point. It's like I have the butter warming up on the counter. Um, and I put it out a little late, so I'm like desperately trying to like figure out how to exactly warm up the butter so that it doesn't like, ruin bake. Um, Basically that idea is a server, and like, I could probably say it here because nobody's gonna see this, least of all people who would be involved. Put butter in the oven. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, but basically, the idea is it starts off modded, but basically with the Origins mod turned off, and eventually, like, we go and we do the dragon fight, and it's all ooh cool, and then everybody gets back from the end, and all of a sudden they have an orb. Got it. I've got my eyes closed. Motion for when I should open. Quote, no one's gonna see this, I see. Um, but basically, everybody gets back from the end and they get an orb of origin change. And all of a sudden, we have a bunch of superpowers roving around the server. Um, Now, the problem is, I need to work that into a goddamn plot. And this is actually what I tried to suggest for portals. Because initially, the idea with that server was we weren't going to have um, we weren't going to have you weren't going to have origins turned on, just the professions. Type with eyes closed as well, just doesn't go so valid patent. So the problem is I don't know where it goes from there, and that is something that I would need to brainstorm with other people and develop a plan with. Uh, Luckily, I have a couple of friends who are really into mods, so I can talk to them about like what is going to be the best choice. For portals, your idea was to have origins turned off? No, the original idea when I came in was origins off, and then we decided origins. Like the season with the origins mod? No, that was Carson's idea, but eventually it was scrapped because, well, everybody really likes the origins mod, let's be real. We had a lot of ideas that were scrapped. Yeah. That was like idea 10. But what I thought would be cool to do would be to have it off at first, and then, we go fight the Ender Dragon. And like all of a sudden, boom, magic occurs because, the Ender Dragon's magic. Um, and everybody's all of a sudden the abilities. And I tried to pitch it, but I was a lot less confident at the time, so I didn't really put my foot down and explain it properly, which sucks because I think that would have been fun. Which is why I'm going to do it in my own server. Yeah, it wasn't a server made up of role players. I think the problem with portals, because I can say this because most of the people that are on portals don't really interact with me anymore. The majority of people on portals were not interested in being. They weren't interested in telling a story. They just thought that the story would come to them naturally. And of course, to an extent, stories do pop up naturally. But you gotta at least put some effort in. Just throw spaghetti at the wall and what sticks you will go with. Like, for example, I adopted a son randomly on Nearcraft because I um, got a bucket clip. That didn't even happen on stream. I've stuck to it. Maybe that's just because I'm a very dedicated role player. But that was one of Portal's flaws was it was trying to be a roleplay server without either A, direction, or B, role players. Because you can't do just fucking around servers anymore, unfortunately. I mean, you can, but like, it's hard. You have to have some element of roleplay, which is what Intercraft has. Light RP, but not this. It's not the same. But basically, part of what I want to do is set up a mod pack that would work really well, but also not be too intense because I really hate intense mod packs. I hate stuff getting ran to the game for no reason. Like, I want to play almost entirely vanilla. None of this, like, excuse me. Like, no offense to Alex's mobs. It looks amazing. But, like, I have a hard time squaring that with the way I play Minecraft. No offense to any Alexes. Yeah, of course, no offense to any Alexes, including myself. Um, Full offense to you, though? Okay, fair enough, I guess. It's that way. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Yeah. So this is south. which means we need to go east, never east. Never eat. Going this way. But like, Alex's mob looks cool and all, but I feel like it adds just a little too much, and I don't like that. Um, let's see. Um, I do not have a boat. So really finding the right balance of mods that aren't overwhelming is very important to me. Well, there goes this world. Well, almost the end. Also, finding people to join your SMP is very difficult. And that's the thing where I have an advantage of already being on an SMP and like kind of being involved in just enough circles that I can like find people, at least through osmosis. Um, one of the though you have good connections with prior servers. Well, I have connections with prior servers. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Portals had a lot of trouble with that. We eventually got people when we eased up the requirements a lot, and then you got season 3. Yeah. As the primary advertiser, I had a lot of trouble with that. Oh, geez, yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, I have enough connections that I can make it work. And the more important thing than me having connections is I have connections that have connections, and that is the key. Um, I don't know that I'd necessarily want to do open auditions or open casting because Jesus Christ, that sounds like a nightmare. Um, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, of the things I would want to do, that's that's like a really half-baked idea. I have one plot point I want to do and a general vibe kind of referring to the connections of connections. Yeah. If you want to do business in America, if you want to do business, you have to have connections with connections. They taught me that in business school when they didn't teach me how to use QuickBooks, even though that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants the QuickBooks. Baked SMP. You know what? That might not be a bad idea. Um, just add a food mod. Hang on, actually, I'm gonna write that down. No, gecko baked means high on weed. Okay, we'll add a weed mod too. It's one idea. Um, Actually, that's now two ideas because Patent gave me a very funny thing to add. Um, on top of that, um, no, because you need an inhale mod, and then you definitely need an exhale mod because you can't just keep it in. I feel like the weed mod takes care of that problem. Also, since when have you been so knowledgeable about weed? Like, I only know most of what I know about weed. Not necessarily could be a safety issue. Okay. I really only know as much about weed as I do because my dad is really strongly anti-weed. That I know how smoking works? Yeah. It just seems weird for someone who wouldn't smoke to know, and you don't strike me as the kind of person that smokes. No offense. I have seen smoking happen. Okay, but how would you, from watching smoking happen, figure out the breathing thing? Oh, I guess you're not thinking about like the weird way that you have to breathe weird when you're smoking. You're just thinking about actually exhale and inhale. Well, there's like a certain thing you need to do with when you with breathing when you smoke um, weed or um, other or what's it called? Cigarettes. Yes, I know. Okay, look, I don't have a good frame of reference for what's normal for people, so I just assume that anything that's like explicit, um, or even borders on explicit is just not known by people. I think that's causing me a lot more problems in life than it and isn't good. I don't think this is very complex. You know what? You may be right. But idea idea number four. It was idea number three. Now it's number four. Idea number four is basically ah, ah, it's a bunch of sky islands. idea number 4, take a screenshot. What idea 5? What's idea 5? Idea 4 is not take screenshot. Idea 4 is make. Yes. Idea number 4 is a server. So yes, we have deviated from the plan. We always deviate from the plan, patent. But it's a bunch of skyblock islands, but instead of having the generation, the ore generation stuff, it also has create mod. And basically, the create mod, it has the basics, excuse me, for what you need for create mod. And obviously, you can like probably find enough to keep going, just because, you know, you can do like a lot of crazy shit with create, and I think that'd be cool. Um, and the thing is, when it comes to these servers, I'm thinking about. So is that for the cyberpunk faction? No, this is an entirely different server. Now, the cyberpunk versus Fae thing would be relatively open with um, whitelist and maybe a few plugins. When did we transition between servers? Around the time I said I can't. Well, I've transitioned between multiple. We deviated heavily. What number server ID is this? This is number 4. Number 4 is Creative Islands. Not, well, Create Islands, not creative. Create Islands. This, I think, from everything except a finding people who are good at create thing, I can do very easily. And that's kind of the big problem is I don't know a lot of people who are good at create. Oh, you see this? It's almost fully done. I will take that. That's efficiency. Thorns. Eh. Basically, there's a lot of thoughts going around in my head at any given time. And most of them don't make sense. Even to me. Might be more of a people who like the idea of create rather than are already good. Some people think it's too complex. That's true. That might actually be a better way to look at it. Thank you for that. That helps. That'll make it a little bit easier to find people. Some people is me. Yeah, it's a challenge. That's the idea. It's supposed to be a challenge. It's supposed to make you have to think. And I think it would work better for video makers than for live streamers. Oh, because video makers can just hop on replay mod and watch a tutorial. And as a streamer, if you it's really hard to balance that. But still, at the same time, I think that would be a good idea. Streamers can do it live and provide sick reactions to a tutorial. Yeah, that's kind of the problem though, isn't it? You can't just watch the tutorial and do a little reaction to it. You have to like put in effort. Now, of course, because they're trying to copy the tutorial to play the game, they do have that on their side. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking makes this difficult for streamers. Now, thankfully, I'm currently in a server that is pretty much exclusively video people, which really would help with that, you know? It's like if all of my friends already make videos, I'm not really asking too much of them, am I? There's Bradley Belk said, does anyone else make videos? Ender sometimes makes videos. Dodo sometimes makes videos. Orb makes videos sometimes when he's not really, really busy. Squirtle is trying to make videos, but he's a child, and so he's like, he's his dedication waxes and wanes with the tides and the moon and the wind and his ADHD medication, probably. And that being said, I'm pretty much the only streamer. Velxa has been getting back into streaming lately, but I'm kind of the only one who goes live. Well, I guess Bradley does go live sometimes. And Dodo used to stream, but he doesn't anymore. So for like the create islands, that's actually one of the benefits with that is it doesn't have to be very many people because it's a couple of small islands spread across a map. I'm just now learning that Dodo is a player and not something in game. Good to know. Yeah, no, he's a whole player on the server. He's been fucking busy lately, but he's got real life shit to do. So he's going to forgo the craft. Mm. The thing is with the create sky islands, um, you don't need a ton of people. That's one of the things that I would want to do with that. Gecko, why did you make a diamond hoe? I did not make a diamond hoe, and even if I did, it would be for good reason because I do like diamond hoes. Um, but I found it in the deep dark. You remember when I did a stream that was almost entirely just a black screen and you and Beerfunger were just hanging out for some reason and continuing to watch and make jokes at my expense? I thought you meant to make a pick. I needed iron for more picks because I want to save my diamonds. It was usually visual. Not usually, but mostly? Okay. It was mostly visible. Okay, good to know. Majority. Because it was very hard for me to see, if I'm being totally honest. Over half. Well, I know I spent at least half in the deep dark. So that means people, it wasn't just the half that was in the overworld. Honesty is key. Over half of the deep dark. Okay. Okay. Fuck. As long as it wasn't boring, that's fine. Also, servers cost money to run if they have more people. That too. And if they have a bunch of mods, they're also more expensive to run. So it's really, and again, like I should point out, as much as I would like to be able to make money off of this, I don't expect to be anything more than a hobbyist for quite a long time. Acquire rich friends. That is quite a good idea. How does one acquire one of those? Not the rich part, the friend part. With a yacht? I do not want to be friends with someone with a yacht. No, I'm not sorry. It's like that's like insufferable wealthy. At least I'm assuming it'd be insufferable. I actually never known anyone with a yacht. What if they're a good person? It's very difficult to have a lot of money in this society and be a good person. It's not impossible, but I struggle to think of people with a lot of money who are good. What if they don't have a house and only live in a yacht? Well, then that would be the guy from West Virginia, the senator from West Virginia, um, that lived on a houseboat, and he's kind of a dick. That's an interesting take. What that a lot of rich that money is a bad influence on people. It's not that interesting of a take. It's actually quite common. Well, that wasn't what you said. mean, it was basically what I said, probably. I don't remember what I said. Bold of anyone to assume I remember anything from 5 minutes, let alone 2 seconds. No, you said an interpretation of that. Well, look, I get that you're saying that I wasn't completely being honest, but I took my melatonin before starting this stream, and it's late, and my brain is shutting down, so, gosh. All I'm saying is you shouldn't prejudge someone because they have a yacht. If they have a yacht, they probably cheat on their taxes. I will judge tax cheaters. No, I will judge wealthy tax cheaters. Because taxation is theft? No, not paying your taxes is theft of the people around you and your society. That's what you said, isn't it? No, no, no. Those words did technically leave my mouth, but that's not what I meant, and you know that. You know how I feel about taxes, patent. Lack of tax payment from wealthy people is theft. But you don't hate poor tax cheaters. That is true because they have more need for the money so they can live in our society. Also, those are the people that the IRS goes after because they can't afford to go after the wealthy people. Robin Hood stole from people? Exactly. But who did he steal from? See, it's the context. Duck of Rottingham. I think you mean the Dick of Nottingham, but you know, whatever. Okay, say Robin Hood stole from a guy with a yacht and gave the yacht to a poor person. Is the poor person now a bad person? Okay. Fascinating hypothetical. Well, the thing is, a poor person isn't necessarily inherently a good person. But a person with a yacht is inherently a bad person. Okay, you found a hole in my logic, patent. Are you happy? Maybe I shouldn't judge as much. You know, there's also more than one way to be a bad person than just owning a yacht. Yeah, but in the end, you win because there's a fucking yacht in 15 seconds. Sorry, bro, that's just capitalism. You know, you could subscribe. It's like 25% off. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you can get it free at Amazon. It's a new initiative from Subway. IDK where the ad is. It'll show up eventually. Takes a minute. I win. Well, somebody has to win capitalism. May as well be the cis guy that wins. Okay, chat. How to get Rose to give me more room in bed. I'm crammed on the edge. Is she asleep? There's Legos in Fortnite. Thank you, patent. I know. And before you ask, yes, I've thought about doing a stream with that. Yes, snoring. Craig, this is better be in game. Patent, don't abuse your mod powers. Oh, never mind. I misread that a lot. Well, if she was awake, I would say you could politely ask her to move. Let's see, what else? You can just... I don't give a shit that there's a new iPhone. Nobody does, let's be real. Even my grandfather, an Apple holic, is pretty much done with the new iPhones. Back, cool. Basically, Craig, what you should do is, get up and let Rose take over the side of the bed that you are currently on, and take back the other side of the bed. I'll wake her up, good idea. No, that is not what I meant, Craig. Does not switch sides. Well, then how is she just taking up more room? Is she just flailing her body? Well, no, it's not like you're switching sides of the bed when she's awake. You get up while she's sleeping, and you take the side that she's not on. She's flailing? Okay. I don't know how to help you, dude. Have you tried Reddit? I don't know if that will help, but ever so often Reddit will have good advice. I know that's sounds horrible, but like I found some good stuff on Reddit. Normalize starfishing. Fair enough. What's the carrot ore and stone there? That is copper. Just clap really loud. Pretend you were asleep. Agents, that's how you get kicked out of a sleepover, not get your wife to move. Carrot cake. Uppercase. That's what I do. And you wonder why you're still single. Actually, you probably don't wonder. You probably know exactly why you're still single. Greg says this is such a good idea. I will try this. We'll report soon. Okay, I don't want the blame coming back to me if this doesn't work. I have a YouTube gaming channel. This occurred in Gecko's chat. Let that be known. Okay, I'm confused. Okay, update. I have way more room, but I'm like. Maybe this was predictable. Did the clap wake you up instead? What the hell happened, dude? I won't wake her up. I'll be her lol. Or what? Nah, I won't wake her lol. I'll just be edgy. And yeah, yeah, fair enough. Clapping is considered edgy these days. Peyton, stop trying to get Craig to wake up his wife. Look, if you're gonna live life on the edge, you may as well sleep nights on the edge. You know? Rose sleeps like 10 hours a night. It's crazy. It is crazy. 10 hours is a lot. She's my koala wife. Eepy. Yeah. I actually personally work better with less sleep than more sleep, but I get more sleep because I am hella depressed. Which does not help anything. Have you tried clapping to jolt yourself out of bed? I get extra sleep on weekends. I sleep in till 6 a.m. Oh, sound like my dad. My dad enforced early rising on himself so that he could, like, exercise and shit. And that's just miserable. Oh no. Nobody in my family is, like, naturally a morning person, so it's a bit awkward. I work at 6 a.m. usually. Okay. Yeah, but the thing is, my dad typically didn't. So, like, it was. He had the choice to not be up at 6 a.m. technically speaking. I mean, he had to because he wanted to do his workouts and he wouldn't have a lot of time. Excuse me. Otherwise, our commute plus 10-hour day. Ugh, I feel that. We live in I live in suburban hell where we're like half an hour from the grocery store and 15 minutes from the country, from the farms, and yet somehow they manage to be 5 minutes closer to the grocery store than us. I'm glad you like your job, Craig. That's good. You just have to drive around the mountain to work. Have you considered working on the other side of the mountain? Patent says that sounds sick. Rich people on the other side of the mountain, they need more electricity. Ah, okay. I've been trying to get a job slash internship near the more mountainous areas of my state, so I get to drive around there. Ooh, fun. Worked on a house with a 1200 amp service. Craig, I don't know if anybody. Okay, well, Patent says that's a lot. So I guess Patent knows, like, the can like scale that mentally, because he like knows things. Cool. Doing the remodel on famous person's old house. It's very normal. Has 1,000 amps available though. I'm gonna guess that because 1,200 was a lot, 1,000, 10,000 is also a lot. No, that's 1,000, not 10,000. That's 1,000. Nah, I just loosely guessed assumed based on the context clues and mostly guessed. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I could have also done that, but like I couldn't explain how or why. Average house is like 400 amp. I just assumed Craig thought that was a lot, lol. Or no, there was no lol in there. That was just a lot. Jeez, my eyes are dipping. Houses are 200 minimum. Okay. You know what? Words are hard. Yeah. Okay, now I'm curious about this answer, because Peyton just asked. How much are yachts? And Craig said they're on DC usually. Who knows? You gotta get on it. Alright. I'm gonna call it here, guys. We're gonna go raid beer. And I am going to go to bed. Night, Craig. For sake of geckos, they haven't. So Craig says they have inverters and don't get power from the power company. Pagan says for sake of Gecko's opinion on yacht people who are poor. I don't know who Joe is. Oh. Is this a setup for Joe Mama? Yeah, Joe Mama, hee. Yeah, I should have figured that out. Alright. Bring this energy into your stream, please. Let's go.